can share your screen. Is
Okay.
everyone okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Amy, is it your first time seeing the presentation?
Yes.
Oh,
Your presentation. I have been to Mary Jane Cruz's presentation. She's also
okay.
good.
Cool. Yeah. So, so I'm gonna share my screen. And okay, can you see the presentation now?
Let's see. Yes.
Okay, cool. Oops. Screen share stopped because external display is disconnected. Huh? Weird. I'll just share the presentation. Okay. So welcome to the presentation. Welcome, Amy, first time being here. And there are the people, Kinjaben. Kinjaben is also Buffalo's best guest, right?
No, Kinjaben is Pargo's wife.
Oh, Buffalo's wife. Okay. So basically,
No.
why
Yeah.
why it's important to have water? Because water is basically 72% of our body, our blood, our lymph node, hearts, bones. Like water is life, right? We need a lot of water. Water dictates every function in our body, from respiratory to excrete system. None of these things happens if we don't have enough water. Okay. The problem is a lot of us lose water every day. Every breath you take, you lose water, right? You know, your breath has vapors and moisture and things like that. Your skin evaporation in hot days, like in California, for example, you get dehydrated easy, digestion, excretion, and all this stuff. Problem is, like, according to statistics, 70% of us are not drinking enough water. We are chronically dehydrated, right? So when you are chronically dehydrated, then there's a lot of problems. Basically, how much you need to drink to be hydrated. On average, 3.7 liters for men and 2.7 liters for women. Right? Basically, there's a formula based on your weight. So if you're in kilograms, you have to multiply by 32.6 to get the milliliters you need to drink. Or if you're in pounds, then half of your pounds, half of the number of pounds in ounces. So if you're 100 pounds, you drink 50 ounces, right? So that's just the minimum, okay? You can drink more, and but a lot of us, when we drink, we say, oh, you know, I drink water, but they drink pop, coffee, juice, alcohol. These things are not very good to your body as well, and some of them even like dehydrate you further, like alcohol, for example, right? Coffee is diuretic, so you know you urinate out very quickly and you dehydrate even more. So that's why we have this book. This book is sold millions of copies, over a million copies sold, right? And it's written by a doctor, and they talk about the importance of water and what happens when you're dehydrated. So he coined up the term, you're not sick, you're just thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. What does that mean? It means that a lot of sickness is come from, it's as a result of dehydration, being thirsty. But a lot of us, when you're sick, you just go to a doctor, get a pill, just to mask the symptoms, but it's not really treating root cause. And if you read this book, every chronic diseases and sickness, like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, joint pains, all the stuff is basically from dehydration, right? So it's important to drink enough water, but also the type of water. So chronic dehydration is cause many sickness, and the quality of the water dictates the quality of your health, right? So you got to drink quality water, not pop and juice and coffee, all day, right? So today we're going to talk about different types of water, and but before that, I want to share with you this video. Linda is she's a nurse. She's in Indianapolis, and she has a lot of results from just drinking this water. So let's hear what she.
I hear miracles happen with you drinking the water.
You
Yeah.
guys not listening? Hold on. Audio. Yeah, how come you're not hearing anything, right? Right now?
No, nothing.
No, I'm saying-
I didn't know she was a nurse.
Yeah, she's a nurse.
Wow.
It's this right there.
Oh yeah.
Get my plants too.
Okay,
Oh, your
I don't
plants.
know why.
Okay, that's secondary.
Um, speaker's not on. Anyways, sorry about that. So, bottled water. Bottled water seem to be convenient and other stuff. You grab and go, and they come all different shape and size and all that stuff. But the one thing that you see here is what? Most of them are microplastics, right? A lot of them, even glass, but glass is even worse for the environment. So mostly it's a microplastic, right? So plastics are everywhere in the ocean. Great Pacific patch, like 1,600 square meters of garbage floating in the ocean. Right now, we have actually 500 dead zones in the ocean. Dead zone meaning so much plastic that it blocked the sunlight, so there is no algae and vegetation growth under, and because of that, no fish can feed on it, and basically life, the whole ecosystem there is just dead, right? Because of plastic. So you can see that plastics are everywhere, right? Every bottle in the environment, it takes 350 years to decompose, right? So 450 years. So that's a lot of plastic and a lot of time, and also costs a lot of money, right? I mean, with gas right nowadays, we waste a lot of petroleum to create plastic, right? Each day, 60 million plastic bottles are disposed into the environment, right? And $15 billion spent on bottle from the oil for drinking, right? It's here. 8 to 10% of global oil supply goes to making plastic.
Oh,
That's a lot, right? Gas is expensive nowadays. Right? Petroleum is expensive, and 10% goes to making plastic, making bottle plastics, right? So, and it's not as pure as you think. A lot of chemicals, 24,500 chemicals. Here they found like 38 chemicals in 10 brands tested in the US, and also that microplastic, 93% in the world. Bottled water, you see all these brand name, which is very familiar. And on average, 325 microplastic particles. In fact, now it's a bit more because this is in that 2018, right? But recent studies have more now, not just microplastic, but also nanoplastic. Why nanoplastic? Because microplastic doesn't degrade in the environment. So what happens is it breaks down to even smaller particles.
it's a nano, right?
Yeah, it's nano. Nano basically goes right into your bloodstream, go into your cells. It causes a lot of inflammation in your body, and even go right into your across the blood-brain barrier, right? And they did a study on if you Google search for nanoplastic or plastic in the human brain, you can see that they now discover that some people have like a microplastic in their brain equivalent to one spoon of plastic in the brain. People are dying from this, right? So the question is, are we contaminated with microplastic? Well, we use microplastic every day and we don't even know. You wake up in the morning, what do? You brush your teeth. That's microplastic right there on, like, you're brushing, right? And you shower, microplastic in the water. And then, you use Tupperware, that's microplastic. Every plastic chips, like you saran wrap to wrap your food, right? Yeah, chips, tea bags, even your clothes. Sometimes, you get plastic everywhere, right? Here you have recent studies. They this is like a study of microplastic in water, right? Sold in the U.S. Now, remember, you said 325, 110,000 and 370,000 per liter. That's how much microplastic in bottled water, right? And then now you have 300 nanoplastic. That's nanoplastic, guys, right? That's the smaller, plastic in the water, right? And so here, microplastic has been found in blood and human testes and all this. This is human, okay? This is not even animals. And here, placenta, human placenta also have microplastic. Babies, breast milk, human breast milk also have microplastic. Baby can have 10 times more microplastic than adults because they swim in microplastic in amniotic fluid. They came out and then they drink breast milk, which is also microplastic, and they drink bottle like this, which is microplastic. So the poor baby has more microplastic than human, 10 times more. So it's pretty scary, right? And according to studies, they said that you actually could be ingesting 5 grams a week of plastic, equivalent to eating 1 credit card. Imagine all of us, okay, not just a special, group of people. We all exposed to plastic, and we couldn't have like 1 credit card plastic, in their body. So what happens is, what do you do with all this microplastic? Your body has the best filter to filter out a lot of microplastic, a lot of health issues that it can be, it can correct. But the thing is, you don't drink enough water and to flush out all these toxins, right? So you need to drink a lot more water to flush out all this stuff. And they found microplastic in urine. Urine is our part of our excretory system. We excrete out all the toxin, right? So microplastic can be eliminated by just our biofilter, which is the kidney, the liver, right, and all that stuff. So here is the microplastic in human, and you can see that this is a study over 6 years, right? And you can see that they test two organs, liver and kidneys. You can see the kidney, liver, 2016 and 2017. You see it increased. This is the average, right? So over the years, the average accumulation in your body increased, right? This is liver. Now kidney, look, kidney 216 and 217 is similar. What does that mean? The kidney can deal with it.
Yeah.
Kidney is filters, right?
Filter, yeah.
Yeah, so 2016 and 2024, it didn't change, right? But the brain, plastic goes into the brain, and you can see that it actually increases in the brain, and it has most accumulation. This is 1,000 particles, right? This is 10,000 particles. You can see that in the brain, it accumulates more. We call bioaccumulation, right? Accumulates in the brain. So that's pretty scary, right? You think about, human brain and plastic in the brain, and it's been studies been linked to dementia, Alzheimer, Parkinson, and other stuff, right? And plastic goes into your body from different routes. Like you drink the water across the blood-brain barrier into the brain, placenta, we just talked about, blood-brain barrier, intestines, and like on your skin, like all the stuff that you rub on your skin, even clothing, and air. This is one of the worst, right? Because nanoplastic is like dust, right? It goes in the air, and not only you're inhaling it, but you're inhaling stuff that attached to these microplastics, especially airborne disease. Like, let's say, for example, COVID. COVID cannot fly anywhere, but it attached to these things, and you inhale it, it goes into your lungs, right? Respiratory disease it's a big thing, and it becomes like a global epidemic. We had SARS, which is also respiratory, right? We have like all kinds of stuff you inhale, and all kinds of viruses can come with it. So they call these nanoplastic. They call it's a biovector. Vector means it's a vehicle to trap and to carry all kinds of stuff into your body, right? Yeah. So tap water, also microplastic. Billions of people globally drinking tap water, right? Microplastic, 83%. And tap water also not pure, right? There's a lot of carcinogens, which is causing cancer, right? Thousands of cancer, not just one, from tap water, drinking tap water, right? So here are some of the studies. Vegetarian, eating vegetarian also have like fruit and vegetable with microplastic, absorb microplastic through the root, right? Tea bags, you're making tea bags every day, and also have microplastic, right? One brew of single plastic tea bag, 11.6 billion microplastic, 3.1 billions of nanoplastic, and it causes like premature birth, cause all kinds of stuff. Even we eat rice, right? We love rice. We're Asian, right? And look at how much, especially when when I went to the Philippines, everyone eats so much rice,
Yes.
right? But look at every 100 grams of rice, you consume 4 milligrams of microplastic. That's scary, right? You know, of course, bottled water and nanoplastic in bottled water as well, right? So,
Question, why does rice has nanoplastic?
okay, because rice come from rice plant, correct? In the water.
Yes.
And the water uproot, right? You see here, the water takes up microplastic in, I mean, the plant takes the water in the body, right? So it takes up the water, and the water has microplastic and nanoplastics. See, fruit and vegetable can absorb microplastic in their root system. See that? Right? In the root system. So the root uptake all the water, which is microplastic, and the fruit and vegetable also have microplastic. So fruit and vegetable and rice, same thing, right?
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, this is CNN Health, by the way. This is the link. You can see the link at the bottom here, right? So tap water also have other chemicals aside from microplastic, like trihalomethanes, which is like, chlorine, byproduct chlorine and stuff. Now, a lot of the water, a lot of medication we take, we actually flush it into the water system. For example, birth controls or any byproducts like, medication you take, your doctor take like 3 times a day, right? Morning, lunch, dinner, right? And then what happened? You feel good, and then tomorrow you have to take again, right? So where all that chemicals went? If the next day you have to take the pill again. So all those chemicals, your body filters it out, you urinate it out, and it goes into the water, right? So, the older you are, the more medication you take, and the more it goes into the water, because every morning you pee it out, your system filters it out, right? So here is a study of birth control pills, which is a lot of people use, you know what it's for, right? But basically, birth control pills, when you flush into the toilet and you take it once a day, right? 1 pill a day. But what happens? Water, it goes into the lake, and it makes the fish birth control too, right? So minnows goes extinct after a small amount of estrogen added to the lake. How does it add to the lake? From human, urinating in, right? You can see that it's affecting the environment, it's affecting the fish, birth control. The fish, fish has birth control too, right? So you can see this is Ontario, Lake Ontario is very polluted. The pollution index is almost maximum. So polluted lakes, and we can't even swim in Lake Ontario. We're so proud of having so much fresh water, but we can't do anything with it, right? A lot of bacteria, signs like permanent signs like this everywhere, right? High levels of bacteria polluted, right? So what happened? The lake has a lot of bacteria. So what happens when you take the water into the treatment plant? You have to kill bacteria, right?
Yeah.
By what? By adding chemicals, adding chlorine to kill bacteria, and then to purify the water, they add like chemical coagulant to coagulate all the organic stuff, like the dirty stuff sinks. And so they take the top, which is clear water, and then they filter with sand and gravel, and then add more chlorine and fluoride, and then it pumps into your house. So it does not remove any chemicals and all the stuff, but it actually adds more chemical, more chlorine and all the stuff into the water, right? So what happens when chlorine goes into the water? It causes a lot of problems. For example, increased bladder cancer be associated with some consumption of chlorinated tap water. So drinking tap water can cause bladder cancer. This is WHO, by the way. This is PubMed, colorectal cancer, cancer of colon cancer, also dependent on frequency exposure to trihalomethanes, which is the byproduct of chlorine in drinking water. So you can see that. So people worrying about tap water, so they have filters like this, right? Reverse osmosis. problem with reverse osmosis is it's very wasteful. Every gallon you waste like 4 gallons, right? Not only that, it removes all these essential minerals, right? Minerals are very important for your health. In fact, 64% of bottled water in the market are purified water that remove all the minerals, right? And minerals, especially calcium, water has a lot of calcium. Like, have you heard of hard water, right? Hard water because it has a lot of minerals, right? So people put softener and stuff like that to reduce the scaling, the stuff that
On the faucet.
yeah, on the faucet or the kettle when you boil the water, right? But it's good for the stuff, but it's not good for your health. You need the calcium, as you can see here, 1,000 to 1,300 milligrams you need per day of calcium, and so here's a PubMed WHO study showing that sufficient evidence is now confirmed health consequences from drinking water deficient in calcium and magnesium, right? What kind of consequence? Increased sudden death, which is like heart attacks and things like that, because your heart pumping muscle contraction needs calcium,
Okay.
right? So that's why they have like increase in sudden death, heart attack, right? And magnesium is also very second most abundant in water, and is associated with motor neuronal disease, pregnancy disorder, death in infants, and some type of cancer. Because of not enough minerals in the water, right? So you want to remove all the stuff, but you need the minerals, right? So in fact, here's the study. Basically, water used as a source of calcium, which what we need, you saw earlier, provide for over 40% of recommended daily intake.
Oh,
So if you drink reverse osmosis, you lose 40% of the minerals per day, right? So this is like PubMed articles talking about that, right? So special water. You can't drink bottled water. You can't drink tap water. You can drink stuff. So what are you going to drink, right? Here is, today we're talking about very special water. We call the Japanese, 50 years ago, they called it functional water, right? Science, they have different names. You can Google all this stuff, right? Alkaline ionized water, electrolyzed reduced water, alkaline reduced water, restructured water, right? So these things you can see on the scientific research and all the stuff about this type of technology. But I like this water, and it's most commonly used. Electrolyzed reduced water. Why is it reduced? Because reduce means antioxidant. Okay, and reduction is basically antioxidant. It's the opposite of oxidizing, right? Oxidation or reduction, right? So and so you can see here alkaline reduced, not alkaline only. Alkaline only is basically the bottle that you buy in the store, right?
Yeah.
Fake alkaline just to make it purple, but reduce is what you want. This is an antioxidant, and because of reduction, it has a lot of and I'll explain to you why it's reduced water. Okay. So you can always jump in and ask questions if you like. Okay. So, but the first thing I want to do, can you pour the water, right? So I have my helper here, and we're gonna pour water in. I'm gonna stop sharing. We're gonna do some little demo. Can you see this being spotlight? Okay, can you see the different things, right? So you can see here reduce. That's reduction, right? So you can see the chart here. This is negative, so it's basically reduction or reduced. Another term is antioxidant, right? If it's positive, it's oxidizing or oxidation, right? So how do you measure this? You measure it by an ORP meter, right? ORP meter. Okay, but before you do that, I want to measure the mineral content of this water. as I mentioned before, 64% of bottled water, you know, does not have minerals, and you need minerals. 40% of the mineral you need come from water, right? So here, so here I have a lamp, and the lamp basically, mineral conduct electricity, correct? Right? So I can test this water and see which one has minerals, because water is clear and is odorless and colorless. And how do you know which water has minerals? So I have Fiji here, of course, this has minerals, and you have Essentia here. Oh, shoot. It's the wrong order, but that's okay. Okay, so here we have Aquafina, right? Aquafina is actually reverse osmosis. And yeah, so you can actually say it says like purified by reverse osmosis, right? So anyway, so needless to say, it has no light. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here. Oh, very little light, right? So now you have the Sani, which is purified water, but it adds like some electrolyte, which is artificial mineral, so you can see the light goes out a little bit. You can turn off the light. You can see better. Right? See that? Okay. So now Fiji, which is spring water, you can see a lot of light. Right? Okay. So the Kangen water has a filter that removes all the contaminants that's harmful to your health, and is certified by Water Quality Association to remove all the contaminants. But the special thing about this water, Kangen water, is it removes, it keeps the minerals. You can see that the minerals very bright, right? Compared to all the other ones, there's just a little bit, right? And this one, like almost nothing, right? You can see that. So that's the mineral content. But so 40% of the mineral come from water, right? So now I want to share with you the antioxidant of this water, or the reduction effect of this water. Yeah. So I have the meter here, right? So here is the ORP meter. O for oxidation, reduction, potential, right? The potential of the water, if it's oxidizing or reduced. If you have minus, that means it is reduced, and if it's positive, it's oxidizing, right? You guys, can you see the value okay? Okay, so here you can see it's a 200, okay? So that's oxidizing, positive 200. So if you know that all this water is between 200 and 350, okay? So that is what the oxidation happens, right? So it's positive 200 something. Essentia, which is the alkaline water, it's also positive, right? 100, between 100 and 200. Aquafina, also positive, right? And Fiji, which is spring water, also positive, right? But watch your Kangen. Minus 600. You see the minus sign, right? So this is the antioxidation effect of this water that you're seeing, right? Okay, none of this water has negative value, right? See that? Right. And this one, again, minus 600. You can see you cannot eat enough blueberry and avocado and all this stuff to get the antioxidant effect, but this is water, right? It's absorbed right away into your system, and it basically is you don't need to eat anything, and it's cheap, right? You don't have to pay so much antioxidant stuff, right? But the question is, what is it in the water that's make it antioxidant, right? What it is the hydrogen in the water, okay? So here, I can measure the hydrogen, and you can see here, no hydrogen, okay? This, no hydrogen, 0, okay? This is hydrogen meter. Essentia, no hydrogen, right? Aquafina, or the Dasani, Coca-Cola, no hydrogen. Even Fiji, 0 hydrogen. But look at this. You see the hydrogen? 1,600 parts per billion. Only the Kangen water can make hydrogen water. Okay, 1,700. You can see none of these has hydrogen. Okay, again, back to Kangen water. See that? Right? So what you're drinking is hydrogen-rich water. And 95% of the benefits from this water is hydrogen because of the hydrogen, not because of alkaline. People talk about alkaline and, cancer and all this stuff and, Dr. Warburg and all this stuff. That's not true at all, right? There's no studies on alkaline and, how it affects cancer and things like that. It's the hydrogen, right? So hydrogen has been well studied, and it has a lot of over 200 disease model. And let me remove the. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my presentation. How do I do that now?
On the top, on the top.
On the top.
Recording besides of the record.
This
Beside,
one?
no, on that side.
This one, right?
Yeah, that one.
You sure? No. I'll just minimize it, I think. No? Okay. Okay, so this, because basically naturally the water that has healing properties and stuff like that, like Lure Friends, and you can see there's a lot of places where natural water has the healing properties, right? It turns out that there is a reason for it. Like there is a tribe in northern Kashmir, Pakistan, right, where they have the valley of the Hunza people, and people live very long over there, like 120 years. Life expectancy. You can see, and they eat very simple. They don't have a good healthcare system. They're on the mountain. They eat like nuts and things like dry stuff,
Yeah,
right? But it turns out that it's the water they drink, because this is the valley and it gets all the water from the Himalayas, which is pure, water. And Dr. Henry Kwanda, he is the fluid dynamic physicist, and he basically studies water, right? He's a fluid dynamics, right? And he went there and studied, I think he stayed there for 9 years to study the secrets of this water. And it turns out that he discovered that the water is rich in minerals, it's rich in hydrogen, it's high in alkaline, and it's super hydrating. So these are the 4 properties that as a result of, basically, the Hunza people are benefiting from, right? So what happens? So you saw earlier, and then when he proposed his findings, he won the Nobel Prize, right, in 1930s, right? And this basically the fountain of youth. He found the fountain of youth, the secret for a long life, right? And it turns out that electrolysis can create these 4 properties, right? So Michael Faraday is the first person who discovered that electrolysis, if water going through the cathode and anode, which is the electrical fields, basically restructure the water. That's what sometimes you call it, restructure, right? So the stronger the current, the stronger the water being restructured. And he actually came up with the first law of electrolysis, right? And this is basically that. And you can see that when Dr. Henry Kwanda published it, that they made a video called The Lost Horizon, and scientists start to race to recreate this water. So you have the Russians and you have the Japanese, right? Japanese is actually were desperate during that time. This is after World War II, right? After World War II, we have 2 atomic bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki,
yeah.
right? And a lot of people are sick with radiation and other stuff, right? So the Japanese are start to put money into the research on how to help these people,
Yeah.
right? And they finally succeed. And they basically bring the water into the hospital and apply it. And in 1965, they basically approved the water ionizer as a medical device in Japan, right? So to use to treat sickness and stuff like that. And and here's how it works, right? So water goes through the filter, and every machine, an energy machine, would have like plates like this, right? These plates are platinum, titanium coated with platinum. Titanium is like 99.997 pure titanium, medical grade titanium. That's the reason why this water, this machine is also certified by ISO 1345. Basically, it's medical grade, right? A lot of people mistaken that there is medical device certification, ISO, right? ISO stands for International Standard Organization, right? So basically, they certify quality.
Quality, okay.
They're not not medical in the terms of curing sickness,
Okay.
right? But in Japan, this machine is actually a medical device, not because it's medical grade, but it's also, introduced in the hospital to cure all kinds of diseases and wound care and all this stuff, right? So anyways, so this is a medical grade titanium coated with platinum, which is white gold. That's the reason why it's expensive. The more plates you have in the machine, the more expensive it is. So water goes in here. It's basically, it has electrical charge, right? Positive, negative charge. So the charge splits the water, and this is how it works. When the water has minerals, it will create an electrical field, and it charges, right? So it basically charges the water, split the ions into alkaline and acidic. Okay. And that's how it works inside the machine right now with the plates, right? So the water has natural minerals occurring, and the minerals basically get ionized and split. That's why we call it a water ionizer, because it ionized, meaning splitting the ions, right? So you have like the positive ions, which is all the positive alkaline minerals, like iron, sodium, calcium, magnesium, potassium. These are positive charge ions.
Yeah.
So they basically attracted to negative plates. So that's why what you get is basically ionized minerals. So ionized minerals is the good minerals. It's not just, it's even better minerals than what you buy in the supplement store and stuff like that, because it's ionized, it's more bioavailable, it absorbs to your body better. And then you have the hydrogen in the water as well, right? On the bottom holes, which is acidic holes, you get the oxygen, right? So hydrogen is also that we saw earlier, right? Like 17,000 parts per billion, right? So hydrogen is antioxidant, apoptosis, anti-inflammation, right? So the company has been around since 1974, over 50 years ago, and the product has been endorsed by 6,600 doctors in Japan, and the product distribution network is global, with over 200 countries, that basically have this machine, right? So globally, and I love this, and this actually is the reason why I have faith in the company, and because it's very humanitarian work, right?
Yeah.
Because true health is what Mr. Oshiro coined the term, right? True health is physical health, mental health, and financial health, right? If you have those three, then you actually truly healthy, right? Why? You have a lot of money, financial health, right? But you have no physical health, so you can't enjoy yourself, right? You'll be like, paying bills for medical bills and things like that, right? And you don't have the physical health. But if you have the physical health, you don't have the financial health, then it's not really true health, because a lot of people go to the gym, work out, very muscular and all that stuff, but has no money, right? They have physical health, but they don't have financial health. And a lot of people have money, but they don't know where to buy health.
Yeah.
right? You buy, all kinds of supplements and this and that, right? But it's not so physical health, financial health. If you have those two, then you have the mental health. You're not worrying about money, so residual income, all the stuff, right? And the company can provide that. It's a vehicle, right? So this is a hospital in Japan, and that's a true health philosophy that I mentioned, right? Physical health, mental health, and financial health, right? And spreading true health globally with compassion, one family at a time. That is the motto or the mission statement of Enagic, every Enagic distributors, right? Of course, the machine also certified by many other certification. I told you about medical device 1345, also environmental friendly 14001, and also quality 9001. Why is it quality? Because it's OEM. OEM is the original equipment manufacturer. They don't outsource anything, so they don't take parts from different companies, right? If you take parts from other people, then you cannot guarantee the quality, right? Because you did make it, right? So Enagic is the only ionizer in the world that is considered original equipment manufacturer, OEM, right? And if you see the office here, it's also Japanese, right? So we have like 45 offices all over the world that take care of the machine and distribution and all that stuff. So the global distribution network.
So what is difference between 9001 and 1345?
Okay.
45?
Okay, so ISO is a standard, right?
Yeah.
International Standard Organization.
Yeah.
This is a medical device.
Okay, medical.
The reason why is we have medical grade
Yeah.
material,
Yes.
right? Platinum, and
Titanium.
titanium and stuff like that. This is environmental friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically no toxic chemicals, no fume, pollution the air, pollution the water and environment, right? And then this is for the quality.
Quality.
Yeah. So the machine will last you 15 to 25 years, and it's a almost lifetime warranty on this, right? And not only the machine is certified, the water also being certified with the filter, Water Quality Association, right? Independent, certifying the water. So you can see here, this is like in Japan where they have, this is the filter certification. If you're interested, Water Quality Association is based on the NSF standard. NSF stands for National Sanitation Foundation. So they all have numbers, like NSF 42, like 100 pages, 101 pages, 61 health effects and all that stuff. You can see that these things are very stringent, strict standard for NSF. And if you pass all this, then you get the certification gold seal, right? And this is the certification you can see. You can download online as well. So hydrogen water. So the four properties of Kangen water, which is 8.5, 9, and 9.5 pH, which has hydrogen that you saw. Hydrogen has been well studied for antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-apoptosis. And then you have the alkaline minerals. You saw earlier iron, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and all that stuff, right? And it's a supplement 40% of the calcium you need. You saw earlier magnesium, 10% of what you need for magnesium, and it helps with the bone health. And now it's also alkaline. Alkaline help to balance the acid balance in your body. It's also prevent osteoporosis and help with kidney functions. So how does it do that? Okay, so we can do the alkaline test to see whether
Master.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I am changing the video to this video here. Oh, sorry, it's correct. This video. So can you see the mineral, what do you call that? Okay, can you see it? Say yes. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so alkaline.
Yes,
Yeah.
we see it.
Okay, good. You see this? What is this, right? This basically is your body pH, okay? 7.35 and 7.45. This is the range of your pH in your blood, right? Of course, depending on your body or organs, the pH is different. For example, most acidic one is in your stomach, right? Because it needs to digest food, for example, right? So, but generally speaking, the blood is a 7.36, 7.45, and you cannot change that range, okay? Your body always trying to maintain that pH. So it doesn't matter if you drink a lot of acid or you drink a lot, eat a lot of, alkaline, whatever, your body, this pH doesn't change. But if you have too much acid, what happens? Your body will have to work very hard to maintain this pH level, right? So that means that you're going to have to, your body would have to find other way to compensate to maintain that pH. So that's why you have like osteoporosis, which is your bone. Your bone is calcium. Calcium is actually alkaline minerals, right? So if you have too much acid, your bones start to, get depleted. So you get like thinning bones and all that stuff. There's studies on that as well. So too much acid load, then your body would, kidneys, which is like kidney stones, right? Because your body would start to accumulate in your kidneys, uric crystals and stuff like that. So anyways, so here is the pH, okay? So I'm going to bring it down here so you can see better in the color, right? You can see here is the different bottled water here, right? Okay, so I'm going to switch around, okay? This one is alkaline, so I want to be next to the alkaline. Okay. I like to line them up, okay? So this is a pH drop, right? And when I drop the pH, it will change the color, okay? And the color will correspond to the pH level, okay? If it's nothing yellow, orange, or red, whatever, that's acidic, okay? So I'm gonna drop a few drop here, a few drop here, a few drop here. You can see that these water is actually acidic. It's yellow. Okay. Okay, so now Fiji is natural spring water, right? So it has a lot of minerals and it will be blue, right? See that, right? So Essentia is fake alkaline water. I'll show you what I mean by fake alkaline water. It's 9.5, right? So how do you call, why do you call it fake if it's 9.5, right? So, Amy. Hi, Amy, you got drop off? Okay, so here is blue, right? Which is about here. Now, this is 9.5 pH. It's actually not really, this is brand new, right?
Yeah.
You open brand new, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's kind of 8.5, not really 9, right? 9.5, and you can see the Kangen water is the only one that's purple, right? So that's 9.5 right here, right? So you can see that all this water, special water, expensive water, is alkaline a little bit, right? But most of the stuff we drink is on this side, which is acidic, right? So now you have the alkaline Kangen water to offset 80% of the food you eat acidic. So you and the drink you drink is also acidic. So now you have alkaline water to help, right? So if you put a little bit, you can see, look at that. You can alkaline a lot of these, right? Okay, but watch this. This is pure water. You can see that it tried to change, but it won't budge, right? Why is that? It's because it's carbonated. Carbonation makes the water acidic. Why? Carbon dioxide is the gas that you compress into this carbonated water. So we're talking about Coke, Coca-Cola, wine, beer, anything that has gas, right? That's basically carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the stuff that you breathe out. Your body get rid of carbon dioxide. Now people invent this idea of pressing the carbon dioxide into the water and drink it back in, right? So it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, right? But not only that, you're basically drinking your own waste, right? It's your waste product, right? But now see how if you drink one of this, you actually have to drink 32 equal parts to make the water to neutralize the acidity, right? Why? Because carbon dioxide, when it mixes with water, become carbonic acid, right? So you watch this. Just a little bit, you can see that it will change all this water into acidic water. See that? Even the Kangen, there's no match, right? You can see that it turns everything to yellow, and it's already diluted, right? But with alkaline water. So you can see that 80% of food you eat is acidic. The water you drink is acidic. What happens when your doctor says too much of anything is no good, right? So you gotta drink more alkaline to help, right? So my next question I want to share with you is, what is the difference between the essential alkaline and this alkaline? Okay, it's two water. This is 9.5, right? This is right here, 9.5, right? And ours also 9.5. So what is the difference? Right? Remember I told you that carbon dioxide or carbonated water makes the water acidic, right? So carbonation is bad, right? So I'm gonna test this water and see how good the alkaline water is. Okay, this is fake alkaline. Why they say fake alkaline? Because they add alkaline minerals such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, right? Sodium hydroxide, which is like baking soda, right? And magnesium chloride, all this stuff, right? So that's fake alkaline minerals to make the water alkaline, but it's not very good for your health. It's not even bioavailable, so it's not very good. Your body can't even like absorb these minerals, right? So here are the the two alkalines, and we're gonna have like 3 drops. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so both are alkaline. So remember I told you that my breath is acidic because it's carbon dioxide, right? Carbonated water, right? Carbonated breath, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna blow in here, and you can see the effect of carbon dioxide going to the water, which is I'm carbonating the water, right? And you can see that when I blow in here, my breath will acidify this water. And how does it acidify? You're going to see that it start to change to blue, and then green, and then yellow, which is acidic. Okay, so watch. It's acidic already, right? But the Kangen is still the same. What does it tell you? This is true alkaline. It's ionized alkaline, iodine minerals, right? And it's stronger, it's buffer better, and it's better for your health compared to this fake alkaline minerals added to the water. Okay? So that is the difference. So Kangen water, drink a lot more water, avoid carbonation, right? Carbonated water, and don't buy expensive stuff like this that is not even good for you, right? And Kangen water has everything from minerals, alkaline, super hydrating, and all an antioxidant and all the stuff, right? So far, that is what you can see that the Kangen water has all that, right? So you can see here. Can you see the property of the water? Because sometimes I have only one screen, and sometimes it doesn't work too well. Can you see, guys? Hello?
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so the alkaline, right? So now the fourth property I want to share with you is the clustering of water, right? And what does that mean? Water is H2O, but H2O binds together, because water is dipolar molecule, and it has a positive and negative ends, and it connects to each other to cluster. So the more stagnant or still the water is in the bottle for a long time, then the more of these bonds forms. the more clustering it forms, right? When you boil the water vibrates and these bonds start to break and it becomes steam, right? So you lose, the water when you boil. So that means that water is broken and it becomes steam, right? So how does this help your body? It would help with circulation, because it's fluid, it moves easier because it's smaller. It increased the exchange of nutrients and detoxifying better. It's hydrating your cells and stuff like that, right? So that is the clustering of water that I want to share with you. So, in fact, we were talking about the health benefits of the hydrogen. So I want to share with you all the research about hydrogen. And so over 3,000 medical research on hydrogen, and right now 200 disease model, 200 human disease, right? You can see here cancer, ear, heart, lungs, kidney, everything, right? That's a lot of study. If you want to go like study of how you can research on molecular hydrogen or hydrogen water, hydrogen gas, it's Molecular Hydrogen Institute, okay? You can do all the research. And this is, remember I told you about the 3 properties. One is the hydrogen is so small, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and it goes right into your cells and it goes right into your nucleus to protect your DNA from damage, right? DNA damage is basically mutation. Mutations are the basis of cancer, right?
Wow.
When you have mutation of the gene grows and you can't stop it, right? So the cancer cells are mutated cells, right? And why is it mutated? Because the genes has been damaged. So, and it's been oxidized, right? So this water or hydrogen water comes in and absorbs into your cell and it protects the DNA from the damage, right? Not only that, it's also anti-apoptosis and anti-inflammation, right? Anti-inflammatory, right? So inflammation is huge, right? Over 50% of cause of death is due to inflammation, right? And as you saw earlier, microplastic is one of the root cause of cellular inflammation, because all the microplastic comes in here and your immune system starts to fight it off, right? So you get and of course it's inorganic, so you cannot fight. So your body basically it's autoimmune, right? Basically your immune system fighting against itself because you cannot kill plastic, right?
Yeah.
So inflammation start to happen over time. Right? It's called chronic inflammation. So here is a study. You can see over the years, right? 2010, little studies, but of the 2023, you see how many, the blue one is actually clinical trials. That means the medical field is start paying attention to this, right? And about 3,000 published medication, 3,000 publications, 200 disease model, and 200 plus human studies, right? You can see that it's not, a joke, right? If you talk about one doctor talking about it, it's different. 2 doctors talking. This is like 3,000 people,
yes.
and each articles you're talking about a group of scientists,
Yes.
and not just one person, right? You can see that if you share this water, oh, it's alkaline this, alkaline that, people will laugh at you, right? But you're talking about hydrogen, nobody can argue because you can share, you can read the hydrogen meter, there's a hydrogen, and also there's a lot of studies already published about hydrogen, right? So we got somebody coming.
Doctor.
Hey, you guys are early.
What happened to the early?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the hydrogen, okay? Over 3 medical research on the hydrogen.
Explaining to.
The Zoom.
Online.
Oh, that's so.
Okay. So here are some of the stuff that's been studied, right? So you can see the brain. You have Parkinson, you have like brain injuries or stroke and stuff like that. That's what that is. Alzheimer, right? And the eyes and lungs, like, stuff like that. Ear, heart, ischemic, basically heart attack, chronic rejection. This is like heart transplant, heart arteries, like when you have like fill up of plaque and stuff like that in the arteries, stuff like that, right? Atherosclerosis, and then you have like tumor, which is the cancer causing, right? Right, radiation protection, like radioactive effects, inflammation, the gut, hepatitis, which is also inflammation, right? Hepatitis is inflammation of the liver. Anything you have IS, hepatitis, colitis, meningitis, encephalitis, arthritis, that's all inflammation. Yeah. IS, right? You see the word IS at the end, right? So basically, and diabetes, and all the stuff. So all because of hydrogen.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a lot of studies, 3,000 medical research, right? And reactive oxygen species, which is, over the environment and infection and cigarettes, all that stuff, right? And hydrogen helps with all this, right? So how does it do it? It protects the DNA from oxidative damage, right? Which is oxidation, right? You see UV. What does UV do? UV cause skin cancer, right? Because it oxidizes your skin and it basically mutate your skin, and then your skin cells become tumor, right? Skin cancer, right? Radiation, of course, smoking causes what? Lung cancer, right? So the lungs also get oxidized, and the lung cells get oxidized, right? And then you have stress, air pollution, and even your immune system also cause a lot of oxidative stress, right? So basically your DNA is being damaged, and these are basically free radicals attacking your DNA, right? Which is the cells, right? So what happens? Cancer is 90 to 95% environmental. 10% or 5 to 7% is genetics. Your doctor said, oh, if your parents have predisposed genes that cause cancer, whatever, that's only 5%. 95% is environmental. What is the environment? The air we breathe, air pollution, microplastic in the air, right? All this infection, right? And the food we eat. Food is not as wholesome as we used to know, right? Food now, because of production, mass production, you have a lot of pesticides, a lot of hormones, a lot of preservatives to last longer in the shelf and other stuff. So food we eat is full of preservatives and pesticides and other stuff if you eat fresh, right? And then, of course, the water we drink also very bad, as we saw earlier, right? So what happens? This is what happened with cancer, right? So you have non-mutated genes, everything's fine, and then you have mutated genes, mutated because of free radicals, right? So it knocks out one of the strand, and then it's causing mutation, a mutation called tumor formation. This is the cancer cell are stuck to keep growing, and it start to spread to other parts of the body. It's all because of the free radicals, or in science terms, reactive oxygen species, right? So that's basically the strand that get broken and then mutation, right? So drinking water. Studies show carcinogens in drinking water, thousands of cancers. Thousands, right? We saw earlier. And look at this. This is public health. I love PubMed. I love this article because first, it's Japanese, right? You can see like 12 Japanese doctorate, studied this, right? Electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed because electrolysis reduce is antioxidant water. And what does it do? It protects the DNA from oxidative damage. That's cancer protection again, right? And how? Because of hydrogen, right? You can see active hydrogen can be produced near the reduced water near the cathode during electrolysis of water. You can see the plates, right? And it has extreme negative potential. How do we know that? We measure minus 600.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
ORP, right?
That's extreme negative ORP, like reduction potential.
Yeah.
Right? And it's better than vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid and other stuff, right? It's strong, right? And the hydrogen that we saw earlier. So this article basically spells out exactly what we're dealing with our Kangen water. Okay? So here a screenshot. I attended the hydrogen summit, right? So I this is a Japanese studies, right? You can see the tumor within 2 years because of hydrogen therapy and cancer treatment, it shrunk. This is not a medical claim, okay, guys? I am merely presenting the medical research. Okay, I'm not claiming anything. Huh? Sorry?
Which way?
Hydrogen water.
Hydrogen water, just drinking hydrogen water?
Yeah. Yes, it's
Why?
just drinking
Okay, so
hydrogen
this
water.
is a true study.
This is study, yeah. This is a true study, yeah, and it's a study, but other things as well, like immune system. You know how it
Well,
elevate
If
immune
it's a
system.
true study is proven, why they say it's not proven and there is a limit?
Because you said Kangen is not proven. Nobody studies Kangen water. People study hydrogen water.
Well,
There's a
maybe
difference.
it's the hydrogen.
Exactly.
Uh,
So you don't. That's why I'm sharing this because I'm sharing the hydrogen effect of this water.
Okay, so for this therapy that they did for this tumor, you're saying by using Kangen water?
Hydrogen water.
Okay, what is the difference between Kangen water and hydrogen water?
Because Kangen water has alkaline. It has like all the other stuff like super hydrating and minerals and other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it has other stuff.
Mhm.
And Kangen is just a name, it's a trait name.
Correct.
Okay. But the science is about hydrogen, so it's indiscriminate of where the hydrogen come from,
Mhm.
right? The hydrogen in our water come from electrolysis of hydrogen of water.
What kind of other source has hydrogen water other than Kangen?
Yeah, you can make
How
Kangen
we-
water. Like they sell like hydrogen bottled water, machine. There's a lot of
aluminum
as long
bottle.
as long as it's ionized, you can get hydrogen. That's just a technology, right? Electrolysis of water produce hydrogen. Right.
Okay, my question is why?
And it's not our machine.
Mm.
As long as you have electrolysis, you have cathode and anode, you have hydrogen. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, if they using hydrogen water,
The reason why the company is strict on this is because people don't understand the science behind it, and they say alkaline does it.
Mhm.
Alkaline help me with this. Alkaline help me with cancer. Alkaline is it's not alkaline. It's the hydrogen in the water. It's also alkaline, but that's not the research. Research is about hydrogen, but a lot of people don't say it, don't understand it, right? So they keep saying about the alkaline, right? It's not alkaline. Alkaline is selling
Yeah, exactly. Essential, right?
but it's not.
I was
alcohol.
talking with one of my leads. He is anesthesiologist.
Mhm.
He says, I can tell hydrogen is a main ion.
Yes.
Acidosis and alkalosis.
Yeah.
Excess hydrogen is unstable. In normal
Hence,
patients-
that's why we have a machine.
Mm.
It's unstable. If you leave it there for a long time, that's why people don't sell hydrogen water.
Mhm.
It's not stable, right? Very short shelf life. 12 hours, hydrogen's gone. That's why we own the machine, we drink it fresh. That is
There is
how
no
you
any
get the
commercial
hydrogen into
plant,
the
right,
water.
to
Yeah.
produce the hydrogen water.
Sorry?
There is no any commercial plant, same as like the
No,
other,
yeah,
other.
Right. In Japan, they have pure hydrogen water. The trade name is Uzimio,
Mhm.
right? It's in a they sell it in aluminum
Aluminum.
pouch,
Mhm.
right? And people just drink hydrogen shots.
Is
Yeah.
it liquid?
It's liquid, yeah, hydrogen,
But
hydrogen
you have
water.
to-
Right. And I tested it. It's similar to ours, even less than our in terms of the level of hydrogen and the alcohol and the ORP. Okay, so any of you guys have question about that, right? So here are some of the cancer studies on hydrogen water. Okay, this is electrolyte reduced water I mentioned to you, tumor angiogenesis, right? Basically the growth of blood vessels, and it basically stopped the growth factor, right? The key mediator of tumor angiogenesis, right? And this is human study, human lung cancer. You see that? And it's electrolyzed reduced water. It's not Kangen water, okay? But Kangen water has the same technology,
Properties, yeah.
same technology.
Yes, and-
See that? So here, growth of tumor in mice, breast cancer, right? ERW, again, electrolytes reduce water, right? Anti-cancer effects on tumor growth, right? Here, also more tumor cancer patients, radiotherapy. Cancer patients like go through radiotherapy, and when you have the radiation, it's affecting your body.
Exactly.
It's
yes.
affecting your cells. It's caused a lot of inflammation, right? Like, you know, how if you are radioactive, it basically make your body radioactive. That's why, you know, you want to stay away from pregnant women, you know, when you have chemotherapy, radiotherapy, right? All this stuff. So, but they did a study that once you go through radiotherapy, right, it helps drinking hydrogen water helps consumption of hydrogen-rich water help in 6 weeks help to improve quality of life, right? After exposure to radiation, right? So hydrogen-rich water and it's anti-tumor without compromising. That means it's, you know, the effect is still there, right? So that is one. Here we can talk about different things. So we saw that already. Cancer is everywhere, right? In the US, 1.1 in 3 people have cancer, right? 1 in 3. In Canada, 1 in 2.
1 in 2,
Yeah.
50%?
Yeah.
50% of people in Canada
Will have cancer. 1 in 4 will die from cancer.
Oh, that's about 50%.
Yeah. That's why I work in public health, not public health, but the lab, right? We are launching the fit test for colon cancer, right? And you know, over 50, if you diagnose early, then you can prevent a lot from colon cancer, right? And so we do for the whole province, you know, like 5,000 labs a day, tests a day. You know. Everybody is sending to us for testing. Anyways, so yeah, 2015 it was 2 in 5. Now it's half. That's only 2 years after. That's crazy, right? So here again, hydrogen. You see the nano bubbles when you get the hydrogen water. You see the bubbles,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right? That's nano bubble of hydrogen dissolved in water, right? And it's basically also have platinum colloid. That's the machine has titanium coated with platinum.
Mhm.
So the platinum also comes out in the water. And platinum is actually being used for chemotherapy. It's anti-cancer. Platinum is anti-cancer, right? So we have platinum colloid in the water as well, and it's anti-tumor agent, right? And you can see this all Japanese studies. All the study you can see is all Japanese, right? Okay. So here, electrolytes reduce water. Same thing. Protects the DNA from damage, right? Cancer, right? And basically it stops the cancer growth. It shortens the life of the cancer cells. Cancer cells are basically immortal. It keep growing, it doesn't die, right? But with hydrogen, it actually reduces the age of the cancer, so it doesn't grow indefinitely.
So why right now they don't do hydrogen therapy for cancer patients?
Because there's no money in hydrogen. There's money in cancer drugs. People make money in cancer drugs. The doctors are trained in cancer drugs, right? How to prescribe
They
drugs.
do chemotherapy, they do.
Yeah, they do. They do
Why
all
they
the stuff.
don't do hydrogen therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
because
that expensive?
hydrogen, I don't know, but there's studies everywhere since 1997, right? That we already discovered this, right? But there's not a lot of money pumping into the research. Why? Because there's no money, right? There's a lot of money pumping into pharmaceutical development so that they can make money by selling drugs, right? So Western medicine is about surgery and drugs. You know, if you have cancer, operate, remove it, right? Or bombard it with radiation and chemotherapy and all that stuff. But there's alternative medicine, such as hydrogen, right? But nobody. I have a friend who has like prostate cancer. I'm in IT, so he's also in IT, same age as me. he sits like literally next to my desk, right?
Uh-huh.
And one day he came in and he's all sad. And then I said, "What happened?" He said he just diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. He just got remarried. You know, he has a bad, marriage. He got remarried. They were planning for a honeymoon, and then he found this out. I felt so sad, right? I drink Kangen water every day. So I said, you know what? I have the water you can try, right? There's a lot of research on anti-cancer, right? And he works, right? And he said he only listened to oncologist, which is his cancer care patient, right? Doctor. So he basically, I basically print out all this information and I give to the oncologist to read. These are all credible source. It's not an opinion. It's actually a research, right? And the doctor said, "Oh wow, I never knew about this. This is great, right? But I cannot recommend because I don't know, right? I don't know how this interact with medication I'm giving you, right? I don't know, and I'm not trained. I can only advise what I'm trained for,
Exactly, yeah.
and I'm trained for medication.
All
right.
Like the
Yeah. So it's up to you, right? But I cannot advise. So he got worried. 3 months later, he died.
Oh.
Not even one drop. I was so close. I even like, I have spare machines, right? I even said, you know what? You can have,
Why you didn't install
I can install at your house. You can drink it, right?
What if it's
Because he listened to the oncologist. Oncologist doesn't recommend, so he doesn't want to do it. It's sad, right? It's all in English. It's not even a different language. Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, people are so dependent on doctor's opinion, right? Everything you say, you see any advertiser, or ask your doctor, ask your doctor. But you know what? I can guarantee you, if you have a stomach pain right here, you ask 5 doctors, they all said 5 different things.
Right now they ask ChatGPT.
Oh, it could be the liver, or it could be just indigestion. Maybe you have appetite, appendicitis, right?
Appendix, yeah.
And also, they all say different things, right? If you have a headache, people say different things, right? Yeah, so I know a lady, she has pancreatic cancer, and she tell the doctor she's in pain. The doctor just give her pain medication. That's it for the longest time. And then finally, she went to another doctor. They did a scan, and the tumors are, already stage 4. 2 years ago, she'd already complained, and the doctor didn't do anything. It's sad, right? So anyway, I don't want to put down doctors. They spend a lot of money and time and like brain power to become a doctor,
Exactly.
right? So I don't want to put them down. I'm not a doctor, right?
Doctors are too.
Yeah, but
Some
the problem,
doctors are
the
like that.
problem is many doctors, they're so proud of what they know that they don't listen to common people like us. Who are you to tell me what to do?
Exactly.
Right? Who are you to tell me, what's good for the patient, right? You know what I'm saying? Even the medical field, like showing everything. Anyways, so yeah, anti-cancer, universities, medicine of study and all this stuff, right? It delayed cancer survival and all this stuff, right? Here also cancer, right? Chinese, Japanese, right?
She has a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference of hydrogen with ultimate?
You missed the demo. I show all that. Basically, minerals are just minerals, not hydrogen. Minerals are sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium.
Yeah.
That's minerals. Okay. And then you have the hydrogen, which is H2, the gas, right? And then you have electrolysis that breaks down the molecules of the water to make it more hydrated. Okay, which I'm going to show you later. And then you have the antioxidant, which is anti-inflammation, anti-apoptosis, and anti-oxidation as a result of hydrogen. And all the studies is about hydrogen, but they call this electrolyzed reduced water, or sometimes they call it electrochemically reduced water, or ERW, right?
So the hydrogen water is H2O2?
No,
No.
hydrogen gas, H2.
H2 only, yeah.
H2, that's it.
Hydrogen water, hydrogen rich water.
Hydrogen rich water is water with H2 in it. a gas.
Water with H2 in it, so it's H2.
H2O is a molecule.
Plus
No.
H.
H2O is a molecule,
Uh,
and it stays like that. It stays together. It's not separate.
or
So water is H2O, but that's not hydrogen, and it's not oxygen either. Oxygen is O2,
how is the hydrogen? Is H2 or it's just one H?
H2.
H2, yes.
So H2.
Hydrogen plus is actually a hydrogen ion. That's acidic.
Mm.
That's different. And the alkaline is OH minus.
Minus minus.
Yeah,
H2.
exactly.
H2.
Right. So that is alkaline. Yeah, alkaline. But none of that
Is hydrogen.
is related to hydrogen gas,
Alright.
H2. Okay. And electrolysis can produce hydrogen gas, as we saw earlier.
So when we get 11.5, is H2 inside the H2O?
It's
Uh,
yes, not just
the
what you're
gas
talking about.
of
11.5.
gas-
11.5 is because it has salt, it has sodium, right? So the sodium hydroxide, which is very alkaline, that's why you have like increased pH, right? And because
That's
of-
what has a taste.
huh?
That's one has a different.
Yeah, it has a very strong taste. You can see slippery and
Yes,
other
I see.
stuff, right? All the stuff because of very strong alkaline, and you don't drink that. Okay, that
Drink that.
yeah, that's too alkaline.
Just for the
Yeah,
drinking.
it's gonna disrupt your stomach because of acidic, in your stomach, right? So yeah, ERW, tumor invasion, right? So stop the tumor from spreading. Okay, so ERW also slow down the growth of cancer. Phosphorylation is basically, energy is ATP, right?
Mhm.
Right? ATP.
Yeah.
P is phosphor, right? So ATP becomes ADP. So it breaks the bonds, right? ATP is triphosphate. ADP is diphosphate. So you lose one phosphor group, right? That's what phosphorylation is. So when you take energy, you break down the phosphate. So here it down regulate. That means that it slows down the energy expended by cancer. So that's what it is. Okay. And it also inhibit effect of growth, cancer. Okay. So here also tumor edges that we saw earlier, downgrade impaired tumor phenotypes. It's all Japanese studies, right? That's a lot. I mean, I can just tell you
What
everything.
we do last is.
Yeah. Okay. So anti-inflammatory as well, right? So inflammation. Inflammation also causes a lot of sickness and disease. So the last one I want to share with you is the alkaline. Okay. I mean what you call it? Where's my nose? Okay. So also cleanse your colon and all this stuff. But clustering. Okay, I'm going to share this now. So we talked about hydrogen, we're talking about alkaline, we're talking about minerals, right? So now we're talking about hydration. Okay, water, as I told you, it has dipolar molecule and it cuts like that. The longer it sits in the water, the more these bonds form. And because of electrolysis, electricity breaks these bonds into smaller cluster. Kangen water is 4.6 versus like 15 molecule per cluster. So how do you know that? Okay, and it's actually been studied, clustering of water by Peter Ager, and he says that when water is smaller cluster, it's easier going in and out of the cell, right? So when you have like super hydrating water, then water go to the cell, it deliver nutrients, it's carrying out metabolic waste and stuff like that. So your cells start to work better, and when your body works better, it starts to correct all the sickness, right? And because our body has the ability to heal itself, right? But not having dehydration, 70% of us is dehydrated, right? And not the right type of water. So therefore, now it brings your body back to a balanced, hydrated environment where water dictates all the function of your body, right? So it helps. So, so here, I'm gonna stop sharing and we're gonna do some tests about hydration, okay? Small molecules. Okay, so. Sorry?
Instagram live.
Oh, you like? You will like? Okay. So here is water, right? So I'm gonna pour some water here. This is mineral water. This is Aquafina. You can see water is colorless and odorless. How do you know which one's more hydrated?
No one.
You can tell, right? When you boil the water, you break the bonds, right? And the steam, right, comes up, and then so the bonds are broken, and then when the bond, when it's cold, the bond is formed and become ice, right? So solid, right? Each
Yeah.
bond becomes ice. So water hydrogen bonds has three different properties, right? Water, liquid, gas, and solid.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right? So when you boil the water, Brownian motion and everything, it vibrates and it breaks these bonds. So that's why boil the water, or you can make tea, or you can cook and you make soup, and all the nutrients comes out, all the stuff, right? So here it's cold water. So how do you know which one's from hydration? So I'm going to use the tea test. Okay. You dip the tea in here and you start to steep. Okay. So if the water's molecule is small, you steep the tea and it will extract all the stuff out of the tea, right? So here is regular water. Oh shit!
No, that's okay.
It's contaminated.
Okay.
It's contaminated. Let me get me the new cup.
Or the.
Because I use the old cup. See, you don't get that brewing effect, right? But this is Kangen water. Okay, so now regular water.
That's Kangen water. That's
Kangen water.
That's Kangen water.
Right? And regular water, you don't get that. Okay, so now this is Kangen water. Or this, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is probably Kangen water.
That one is.
Yeah. So here, anyways, you know which one's Kangen water, right? So here, you see the water, the tea is already there, but it's not breaking down, right? You can see the color, right? But now I have Kangen water to put in here, you can see that it breaks down, right? See that? And this one too. That's the super hydrating, right? So now I'm gonna use 2 drops from the tea, okay? This represents 1 pill and 2 pill of supplements. You drink supplement, right? And multivitamins and things like that, right? When you drink with regular water, it doesn't break down as much, right? Kangen water, because of the super hydrating, you can see the breakdown. This is how much you. No, it's not.
9.5.
Yeah, you see the difference, right? So now there's tea in here, right? But it's not broken down. The same pill, right? Now watch. So that is the hydration level. This water, when you make soup, all the nutrients come out like this, right? Your food will taste better. You get the nutrients out. Your cells hydrates better, right? Your fruit and vegetable, you wash with this, like more hydrating. It fresher. You revitalize it in fruit and vegetables and everything else, right? It's because of the hydrogen. I mean the hydration, right? So it actually boils faster too. You save a lot more energy, right? If you do that experiment, you can see. Okay. Okay. So now you're new, right? Have you seen these before?
She's been here, but, not the
So here,
tomato test.
yeah, tomato test. A lot of people like that, so I'll just jump into it. Okay.
That's very important.
Yeah, very important. Is it important?
I mean, it's very,
So I have tomato here. Why am I using tomato? Tomato, actually, they spray a lot of pesticides on tomatoes. Okay, every week, I know somebody from Caledon, and she grow tomatoes for sale. Something she said every week they spray pesticides. Why? Because new shoot come out and the new flower and all that stuff, and insects love new young shoots, right? So, as soon as the shoot grows, you gotta spray to protect the plants, right? And of course, the fruits and vegetables. So these things are oil based. Pesticides are oil based. So it stick to the fruit and vegetables. So when the rain comes or the water plant, it doesn't get washed off. It stays, right? Because water repel. I mean, oil repel water. Okay, so why don't we use 9.5?
Okay.
Okay. Actually, no. I want to show. So 9.5. Okay, 9.5 is 11.5. Sorry, it's a degreaser. Okay, it's a cleaner. You can use it to spray on your countertop. When you stir fry and all some oil comes out, so that you spray on it, emulsify the oil, so you can wipe it. There's no chemicals, right? So it's very environmental friendly. As you can see here, a degreaser. You have a detergent enhancer. You can put into your clothes for the whitening, right? Like bleach, stuff like that, right? For whitening, anti-inflammatory soap. When you take fresh 11.5, you soak in your feet, stuff like that. If you have long day walking, pain, inflammation, stuff like that. It's anti-inflammatory, right? So it's for anti-inflammatory soap. Revitalizing fruit and vegetables. Revitalizing means like make it fresh, right? Again, because of the hydration, right? Because fruit and vegetable, they leave it for a long time. So let's just do that. You can see, right? So it's emulsified oil. Okay? This is 2.5, and let's say you use this, okay? Both. One use like regular water, one use 11.5. Okay, so emulsified oil. What I mean by emulsified, because this is sesame oil, right? So you can see here, regular water, oil just float on top. Oil and water don't mix. That's why it's in the pesticides. Okay, it floats on top, right? Because oil is lighter, yeah, it floats on top. Now, this is the strong chemical. Right? You can see the emulsifying effect as well. Breaks down, right? That's why it can clean oil and other stuff. Yeah. So that means that's the reason why they strip out the wax, cover the fruit and vegetable and the pesticide. Right? So now yeah. So you can see here that you use this for general cleaner, pesticide removal, okay, and makeup removal.
no.
Yeah. So you can get fresh 11.5. You can wash it at the end of the day. You can get all the oil and everything, removed. Yeah, right. And then stain removal too. So you can use it for your rings and your other stuff. Yeah, right. So you can remove all that. So now the pesticide. Okay, you can see here this one is regular. No, let's use a new cup so people say that I don't cheat. Okay, this is a brand new cup, right? This cup is regular water. Okay, this is how much. Yeah, and this is tomato washing using the clean water. You see the difference, right? And this is regular water, right? So now taste the difference. Okay, you want to give it to her, and then she's new, so she can taste it. Okay.
The tomato is very different because
Okay, so that's hanging water. Tastes sweet, nice, right? Now compare this.
it's so crunchy.
It's soft and sour, right?
No.
It's soft, right? It's like it's not as good, right? The other ones is nice and crunchy and sweet, right? Crunchier?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the reason why your fruit and vegetable revitalized. Why is it crunchy? Because it's been sitting there for a long time and it loses water.
Oh, yeah,
It's
this one is
dehydrated.
totally different. That
Yeah.
one is totally different.
Right, because one is like dehydrated, it's wilting. You can see the wrinkle. Look, you can see the difference. One with wrinkle and one is like nice and plump.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
Right?
Same thing happens, like when I just clean the strawberry,
Yeah.
in 11.5, looks like this one.
Yeah, yeah.
I say, why?
So that
Strawberry
show-
with the tomato, then like the out skin is very like, like nice one. But
That
once
is
I
the
just deep into 11.5, it says looks like this
that's
one.
the reason why it's super hydrating. Because it loses water when now I pour the water in there, not only it strips out the oil and the pesticide, it also rehydrates the fruit and vegetable. So it's fresher, tastes better, right? And it's crunchier, and and your fruit and vegetable lasts longer in the fridge, right? So that is the reason why this water. That's another way of testing the tea, but it's also the fruit and vegetable. You can see the difference, right? So that is what this water is about. Okay, so another type of water is the disinfectant water. 2.5. Okay, the 2.5. Can you read for me?
Yeah, it's disinfectant, antibacterial.
Let me read it. Okay, 2.5. Hypochlorous acid. This is the only medical grade water that's used in Japan for wound care and all this stuff in many hospitals in Japan. And it's medical grade hypochlorous acid, naturally produced from the machine. And out there, Kangen machine is the only machine that can make this water. Why? Because it uses salt, sodium chloride, to make hypochlorous acid and sodium hydroxide, right? So that is reason why this water is another way of, in Japan, they use it for medical purposes, this type of water, okay? This water, what does it do? Disinfecting, antibacterial, blister, burn care, hand sanitizing, pesticide spray, quick relief from bee stings, cut and scrape and wound cares, and all that stuff. Cold sores, acne, pimples, all that stuff. Yeah. So I want you to smell. Yeah.
It's not wrong acid.
So, now, you smell really bad, right? It sounds like bleach or something like that, right? It's hand sanitizing. So here, put your hand there.
Yeah.
Smell it. You smell bleach?
No bleach.
No bleach.
Oh.
That is why this is organic acid. It's strong. 2.5 is strong, right? It's not corrosive. It's not, but it's actually there have been study of 30 seconds killed germ bacteria during COVID time. It got FDA approved as a disinfectant.
Let's say someone has like the arthritis, so we can
Yes,
just spray.
exactly. Spray on it or dab it. Unlimited amount from the machine.
Exactly.
Medical grade water, right? In fact, if you have eye infection, you can spray in the eye, very safe, right? In the face, right? So it doesn't even sting or burn, right? That's how good it is,
That's right.
right? And you know what? When I go to Vietnam, and I used to have food poisoning, right? You eat street food, you get stomachache, right? You drink a little bit of it, right? Kills all the germs, bacteria. And you don't feel stomach
Is it,
anymore. You don't get diarrhea.
taste?
It has a bit sour, yeah, because it's
You drink that?
yeah.
Oh,
Just
just
see, I can drink it. I drink all the time.
yeah.
It's just sour.
I drank it too. I had some my stomach wasn't feeling good. Something I ate
Yeah.
and it really helped me. I felt so much better.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's
So we can put it on salad as a yeah.
okay. So
Like a lemon juice.
talking about fruit and vegetable, how to use this to water. Okay, First thing you do is just you wash your vegetables to get all the sand and dirt and all that stuff out. Okay, from tap water. Okay. Now you spray with 2.5. Okay. Why? Because sometimes you have bacteria, you have E. coli, you have salmonella on fruit and vegetables. Sometimes you hear recall, cantaloupe and bean sprout is a E. coli contamination, right? So to prevent that, 2.5. You spray it there 30 seconds, it kills all the germs, all the parasites, all the eggs and stuff like that. And then 11.5 to remove pesticide and all the chemicals that could be on the fruit and vegetables. And then that's it. Then your fruit and vegetables is free of bacteria, free of chemicals, right? And it's rehydrating the fruit and vegetables. Right? So that is the reason why this water is super, super, super useful. Your kids, you have scrape burns, spray on it. It doesn't burn like alcohol, right? So your kids won't cry. But it actually disinfects. FDA approved. Okay? Hypochlorous acid.
11.5 is FDA approved too.
No, 11.5 is not FDA approved. Well, because it's not really medical,
Okay.
right? 11.5. This is medical because it's sanitizing, killing bacteria. So let me show you the some of the studies on the pesticide removal.
11.5 is increased.
A degree so.
2.5 is kind of acidic and acid.
Hmm?
Acid is going to be resolving that.
Acidic
Fat.
2.5 is killing germs and bacteria.
No, so
A degree so? Yeah.
like resolving the.
Yeah, a lot of distributors say that, oh, I have blood cholesterol. Right? I drink this and the cholesterol is gone. It's not this. Your stomach is acidic. Doesn't matter how much you drink, the alkaline and stuff, it's not going to go to your blood and somehow remove the plaque or remove the cholesterol, right? Just because it emulsify oil doesn't mean that it's going to remove all the stuff, right? So people don't understand or people say things that, oh, it makes sense, so they start saying it, right? And that's the reason why when people share this, you make sure you understand, behind the scene of the technology, the reason why it's 2.5. It's not going to be most of our oil. It's not alkaline. Try. Why? I'm wasting my oil.
System is
Why?
like nothing happened like that.
Nothing happened. Of course.
Tap or
Why would anything happen?
that's interesting.
It's just
acidic, but it's not going to resolve the
no, of course.
oil.
Of course not.
There you go.
Of course not. Right? That's it. Okay. So I'm going to share the studies on this. So you get 7.0. Right? It's basically neutral filter water. You take prescribed medications and baby formulas, and then you have this beauty water. It's natural toner. It's it supply of the skin. It's rehydrate the skin and all this stuff, right? And then 2.5, as you can see, food poisoning, bug bite, pesticides, blister, burn, like sterile medical equipment, clean wound, promote healing, and all this stuff. It stops actually bleeding as well. It has like a coagulant effect on bleeding wound and stuff. Cuts. And you even use it in the toilet to clean out the germs and bacteria, right? This is the emulsified oil, but the degreaser, you use a clean agent, cleaning agent, detergents, and removal of pesticide. on the study. So here is a study of removed pesticides. Some people say, oh, you know what, just because this doesn't mean it's removed pesticide, right? Here are the studies. 3 pesticides, this is PubMed. Reduce pesticide on fruit and vegetable electrolyzed water, right? We can see, 3 pesticides being removed, right? And it does not affect the vitamin C. That means that it has no nutritional loss, no result in nutritional loss, like soaking, right? 30 minutes, right? Okay, that's a study. Here, more study. Remove 6 types of pesticides, right? Using this water as well, right? And they test a different type of alkaline water, right? And the conclusion is 11.5 or 12.5 reduced pesticide residue. Here, also 10 type of pesticides also removed, right? So you can see that alkaline solution were effective for the reduction of pesticide residue washing longer than 50 minutes. So you soak 50 minutes, then you remove all the pesticide, right? You can actually see 50 minutes. Okay. So here's how that works. So sodium chloride, which is salt. Every machine has a salt solution. Okay. Salt in chemistry is sodium chloride. Sodium is a positive ion, right? And it goes to the negative side. So here, sodium, right, goes to the negative plates. And chloride is negative charge, so it's attracted to positive, right? So now the chloride mixed with water, chlorine, that's the smell you smell, right? The chlorine. And the chlorine mixed with water, you get hypochlorous acid. That's what you saw earlier, right? And then sodium hydroxide is strong alcohol that you wash through. Okay. So, and then of course you in the process you make hydrogen gas. That's why it's anti-inflammatory soap, because you take 11.5, you soak, it has the most hydrogen. It's anti-inflammation. So that is the if the machine out there are other ionizer who does not have a salt solution, they cannot make hypochlorous acid. You need salt, which is the enhancer. We call it enhancer. Okay. And here, the different use. You're a dentist, right? Here they use it for dental equipment, surgical, high speed, aerosol, and
I have ordered one for my dog.
yeah, exactly. So hypochlorous acid here. This is a PubMed article, right? They explain to you too. Hypochlorous acid can be made on site, combining non-iodinated salt, water, and electrolysis. That's the enhancer.
Non-iodine salt. That means
Yeah, non-iodine. So that's sea salt, right? You don't want any iodine. Okay, that's hypochlorous acid. And here, see COVID-19. It reduces disinfectant hypochlorous acid, right? A reduced transmission of COVID-19. Okay. And here is also offices and cleaning and all this stuff. Right. Wound care, 2.5. Yeah. So for psoriasis, this is actually my friend in Hamilton. Right? She has a fungus.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days of 11.5 and 2.5. She has like she does Medicare, and the lady came with this book, right? And in our group, she like texted a message and she took the picture, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, right? But so I told them, yeah, 2.5 to disinfect, right? So to kill all the fungus, right? And 11.5 to soak, so this anti-inflammatory, so it doesn't inflame, right? It's just 3 days she came back, and it was helpful, right? Now I want to share this with you. Fire breathing stuff. You see this everywhere, right? You take alcohol and you blow in the flame, and then like you breathe into fire, right? So this guy, he was drunk, and he's taking alcohol and he's trying to do this, right? And this is what happened. the alcohol dripped down to his body, and his body's got inflamed. His face is all burnt, right? And he couldn't open his eyes because of the burn, right? And his mouth he couldn't open as well. And his sister has the candy machine, and in our team, right? So basically, she used like cookie crumbs, right, to feed him because he can't open his mouth and chew, right? Because it hurts, right? So and she fed him with kangaroo water. Not only that, on the skin, she used 2.5 to spray on his face and his, on the skin. So after 21 days, this is what happens. He was almost healed, right, from this wound. And I went to visit him in Vietnam, right? And this is So we have so you see this? I created that for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the stuff. So when I went there, because it's really far, right? So I went there, I slept at that place. 5 o'clock, I hear so many noise, people talking, right? So what's going on? I came out, what happens? People are lining up for the water.
Really?
Yeah. So there are Grabs who go pick up the water and deliver, and they charge for the water, right? They charge money, right? Because everyone drinks water. So instead of drinking plastic bottles or something like that, why not drinking clean water every day, right? So they have deliveries. And the father would carry water, and people lining up, people who has money that they pay for the water. If people don't have money, it's free, right? And they have enough money to run the business, with the filters and water and all this stuff, right? And it's amazing to see people actually benefit from this, right? The whole town. She didn't have the money. You know what she did? She actually took a loan for using her house as collateral so that the bank can loan her, because if she doesn't have the money, then they take the house, right? So using that as a collateral to buy the machine, the K8, right? And she's making a business out of it. And I went there and do demo and all that stuff, so it's interesting. This is the brother. He drinks a lot, so his liver was failing. He had like jaundice, yellowing of the eye and all this stuff, right? So what happens after drinking kangaroo water and not drinking alcohol? He was, no more yellow skin, no more jaundice, just from drinking hydrogen water. 21 days, this is the difference. Right? So hydrogen is powerful. Hydrogen is the molecule of life, if you ask me. The universe started with hydrogen. The Big Bang, lots of energy, explode.
Yeah. Hydrogen bomb.
Hydrogen bomb, right? Every stars burning that you
hydrogen.
see, that's hydrogen burning. Our own sun is burning hydrogen. Right? How does it burn? It's nuclear fusion. You get hydrogen fused together, basically hydrogen bomb, right? Hydrogen, you can use as a fuel cell, like hydrogen car, right? Lot of energy. Hydrogen is the smallest molecule, but it has a lot of energy, and from the hydrogen, it evolves to other elements. Hydrogen is 90% of matter in the world, in the universe. 90% of matter in the universe is hydrogen, right? So you can see that life exists because hydrogen, H2O, water. Without water, there's no life, right?
Yeah, people
that's
survive
hydrogen
without food.
right?
But
Organic cells, it's hydrogen and carbon and hydrogen, right? The most. Yeah. So you can see that hydrogen is the molecule of life. And imagine drinking this hydrogen water, like 1.7 parts per billion, drinking it all day. Imagine the anti-oxidation, anti-inflammatory, and you live a long life, like anti-apoptosis, right? So hydrogen is the key. And hydrogen basically does not have a long shelf life. That's why we don't sell hydrogen water. We sell Kangen machine to get fresh hydrogen.
even though I didn't see like the commercial plant as well.
No,
right?
yeah,
We talk
yeah,
about
no, yeah. So skin condition, this is my
so
team as
yeah,
well.
this kind
This is
of
my
like
team,
we
yeah.
spray 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 and 6.0. Yeah. And there's PubMed articles talking about hypochlorous acid topical and how it helped with antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and skin wound, pruritus, diabetic ulcers, and
Oh,
Yeah, all this stuff.
Yeah,
all because of hypertension. Okay.
thank you very much.
Yeah. So we're good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Amy,
Thank you, Tom.
you're welcome.
Yes.
What do you think?
You're very scientific, but it's really good. A lot of information.
Yeah.
Tam was excellent.
What? I'm curious. What was your profession before?
Oh, I have a health background, health science background. You know, a degree in health science from McGill University in Canada. And
Yes.
I worked for public health for 23 years in health promotion and prevention. And
Oh.
then I went back and did a second degree in computer science. So
Wow.
now I work in
Okay.
IT. Now I work in IT, but health is always my passion. Yeah, so
I see. But did you do a lot of research prior
of
to
course,
Enagic? Prior
uh,
to Enagic, because this is a lot of research, you know.
of course,
I
because
am.
I'm a scientist, right? So whatever I say, I have to walk the talk, right? I don't just
That
say it because people say it, right?
yes,
So
I
all
like
this
that. I
research,
like that.
all this research, basically help me to say what I have to say, right? So without the research, I wouldn't be able to say, all this stuff. Right?
And say them with confidence, right?
Of course, because it's
Yeah.
not me saying it, it's the studies are saying it, the science that says it, right? I'm just articulating what the science says, right? So that's
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
a lot of people they say, oh, this water helped me with cancer, but why? That's health claims, right? But
yes.
if you
Yes.
show this water with hydrogen, it helped with the cancer, then it's not me saying it, it's the medical research, right?
That's
So,
correct.
so
Yes.
now you don't have to worry about health claims, right? For the
That's
natural.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Because what I'm finding out when I first started this business
Mhm.
is people say something out of hearsay without backing, a
Exactly.
back. Yeah.
And it's monkey say, monkey do, right? But but there's no science behind it, and they drink the water, and it helps them with the sleep. It helps them with the cancer and all the stuff, and they think it's alkaline. No,
Correct.
alkaline, right? It's a hydrogen.
Yes, yes. And I say that too when I tell people, because there's not when you go online, there's not a lot of studies on
No,
alkaline
yeah,
water.
right.
But when it comes to molecular hydrogen,
Mhm.
the biohackers are starting to talk about that
Yeah.
now,
You know what? I've done this for 8 years now, and when
It's,
I started, nobody talked about hydrogen. I don't want to take the credit, but I'm
yes.
the one who actually uncovered this water with hydrogen. And I
Oh,
started to
wow.
research about hydrogen. I start to share this, and then people start to say, "Oh yeah, it's hydrogen." And people talk about it. But before when I started, like you, I study alkaline and other stuff. Like nothing,
Yeah.
about alkaline that helped, right? And people talking about
Yes.
Dr. Warburg, and how he said that cancer cells is acidic, and
Hmm.
alkaline is water. That is all BS. Like not BS. Like what he discovered is correct. He won Nobel Prize. But now we know why cancer cells are acidic, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
but drinking alkaline does not make the cancer cell alkaline. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, when you drink alkaline, it goes to the stomach and acidic, neutralize
Yeah.
some of the already, right? So how does the
Hmm.
alkalinity goes into the cell
How's your
when your
brother doing
blood
now?
is
Go to the store,
it's
get the water.
alkaline, right?
Yes, we'll be able to take the
Hmm.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Sorry,
so
Tim.
much.
Tim, you're the
Yeah.
best, Tim. You're the best.
Thank you. We see each other, Amy, in
Yes.
OC.
On the 17th. Yes.
Yeah,
Hi,
yes.
Amy. Nice to meet you, Amy.
I'll be presenting there.
Same here. Good,
Hi.
good.
Part of the
Thank you.
center, yeah.
Hi, nice meeting you. Thank you.
You
Okay, take
too.
care.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye, Amy.
Hey,
Thank you,
send
Sam.
me the
Bye-bye.
word so we can do more of this. You like this kind of format?
Sorry. Yes, this is
Oh,
excellent, Tim.
yeah.
Oh yeah, oh perfect. You hit all angles.
Good.
You're
Okay,
good.
anyways, we gotta go. Take care. Love you all.
Okay.
Bye-bye.